everybody, welcome back to Mental Health Mondays. It's your main man, Charles in Charge, the Wise Counselor. As you already know, I was explaining in the first video that we did with Mental Health Mondays. I'm a mental health clinician, I got my Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Dell State, and then I'm my Master in Arts and Clinical Counseling from Eastern University. And since we've been starting Mental Health Mondays, we had an amazing really support system that has come around it, because everybody's really come into understand and realize the importance behind your mental health, and how when your mental health is neglected, other parts of your life will start to be affected negatively as well. And so I've been blessed to really be able to start this particular platform, and so many people have been blessed by it. So many people have been helped by it. I've been helped by myself as well, by this as well, and challenged in different areas as a clinician, and just been pushed to grow, been pushed to really learn more, been pushed to pay a lot more attention to myself as well. And so I've grown monumentally in different areas of my life just from starting Mental Health Mondays, and it's just been an extreme blessing as far as this opportunity is concerned. I've been able to connect with a lot more people who are interested in the development of mental health in different communities, being able to impact people's lives in that particular area, being able to help other people's lives improve, their personal lives to improve, their families and their friends to be able to encourage them to also pay attention to their mental health. And so it's been an extreme it's been a whirlwind, because I just started the official Mental Health Mondays in the beginning of May 2019, and we're at the beginning of June 2019 right now. And just the response to Mental Health Mondays has been a great eye opener to how much work needs to be done in the construct of mental health. And so today I have the opportunity, the privileged opportunity, to sit with a couple of guys from the community, to be able to really speak about the importance of mental health, to be able to speak about the necessity of being able to take care of your mental health, and how we can work together to get an earlier start on really curating your mental health as much as possible before it gets to a space to where it becomes more difficult to be able to take care of. And so today I'm with my good brothers here. They can introduce themselves, and then we'll get into it.
How you doing today? My name is Sean Ware. I'm the CEO of Good Vibez Only.
How you doing today? My name is Woods. I'm also the CEO of Good Vibez Only.
Everybody, welcome back to Mental Health Mondays. It's your main man, Charles in Charge, the Wise Counselor. As you already know, I was explaining in the first video that we did with Mental Health Mondays. I'm a mental health clinician, I got my Bachelor of Science in Psychology from Dell State, and then I'm my Master in Arts and Clinical Counseling from Eastern University. And since we've been starting Mental Health Mondays, we had an amazing really support system that has come around it, because everybody's really come into understand and realize the importance behind your mental health, and how when your mental health is neglected, other parts of your life will start to be affected negatively as well. And so I've been blessed to really be able to start this particular platform, and so many people have been blessed by it. So many people have been helped by it. I've been helped by myself as well, by this as well, and challenged in different areas as a clinician, and just been pushed to grow, been pushed to really learn more, been pushed to pay a lot more attention to myself as well. And so I've grown monumentally in different areas of my life just from starting Mental Health Mondays, and it's just been an extreme blessing as far as this opportunity is concerned. I've been able to connect with a lot more people who are interested in the development of mental health in different communities, being able to impact people's lives in that particular area, being able to help other people's lives improve, their personal lives to improve, their families and their friends to be able to encourage them to also pay attention to their mental health. And so it's been an extreme it's been a whirlwind, because I just started the official Mental Health Mondays in the beginning of May 2019, and we're at the beginning of June 2019 right now. And just the response to Mental Health Mondays has been a great eye opener to how much work needs to be done in the construct of mental health. And so today I have the opportunity, the privileged opportunity, to sit with a couple of guys from the community, to be able to really speak about the importance of mental health, to be able to speak about the necessity of being able to take care of your mental health, and how we can work together to get an earlier start on really curating your mental health as much as possible before it gets to a space to where it becomes more difficult to be able to take care of. And so today I'm with my good brothers here. They can introduce themselves, and then we'll get into it.
How you doing today? My name is Sean Ware. I'm the CEO of Good Vibez Only.
How you doing today? My name is Woods. I'm also the CEO of Good Vibez Only.
I had the opportunity to be able to, not just speak with them about Good Vibez Only, but also to speak with them about their personal experiences with mental health, which I think is extremely important. A lot of times what happens is because mental health doesn't always manifest as something physical. You can't always physically tell that somebody's experiencing a different form of mental health. Sometimes it can be extremely internal, and people don't express those things outwardly. And so you can smile all day long and, literally be suffering in the inside. And I think I explained to some people not too long ago that a smile does not equate happiness. A smile does not necessarily ensure somebody that somebody is happy or that somebody is content with who they are as an individual, as a person, in their mind, in their thoughts, in their feelings, in their actions, in their everyday life, pretty much the outcome of their life. That doesn't necessarily equate to happiness. And so it's important to always check in with people and to be able to ask them questions and to really, dig into their lives. I encourage everybody to have those people in their lives who they feel comfortable enough to be able to ask them the hard questions and to be able to sit down and really to be able to help them process through whatever it is that they're experiencing. So today I had the opportunity and the privilege to be able to, ask these guys some questions and they're going to answer them, based off of their own personal experiences, and then we'll get through the interview that way. Cool. So Sean, if you can just explain to me, what is your personal understanding of mental health, and then also some personal experiences that you may have had in life with mental health?
So my personal understanding of mental health is that is one of the key factors that a lot of people deal with every day in like our everyday lives, and they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people deal with PTSD. A lot of people deal with anxiety. A lot of people deal with suicide or whatnot. For instance, like, I personally dealt with suicide. That's kind of why I really started the brand. In which I dealt with suicide when I was younger, like from middle school up until like my sophomore year in college or whatnot. Like, I went to school back home in New York for my sophomore year, and I wasn't really feeling it. I was just in a bad space at the time. Took myself and I brought myself back to Delaware State University. And during my time at Delaware State, I met a lot of people. It was a great vibe, and I was having a lot of fun with individuals to the point where I actually forgot about what was going on. But I was still fighting with it during my own times. But what really took a turn was when I actually opened my mouth and said something about what was going on. When I opened my mouth and said something about what was going on, that's where everything kind of like took a turn. Because at that time, I stopped fighting with myself, and I really just started focusing, started executing on my goals and everything that I wanted to. Now, the list isn't very long, but I'm not really about to go into it. But I really had a lot of accolades. I accomplished a lot of stuff in college that a lot of people would have wanted to or whatnot. So I'm really grateful for that. One of my things that I did was I was a student government while I was there, and during that time, mental health was a big thing to me at the time, but I wasn't really too much of an advocate for it. But I did want to create like a mental health day, like a day where we gave like these students who was dealing with a lot of stuff the opportunity to come out and speak, like speak on the issues that they're dealing with, and so how we could fix it, because the school needs to know like certain issues that we dealt with as students. It really takes a toll on us, and sometimes we don't have money to pay for tuition and so forth. That's why like now I created a brand, GVO, because what I plan on doing for the long term is really creating like small book scholarships for students. Just taking that ease off them and whatnot, and like really like not even just book scholarships, but like annual scholarships, like bigger scholarships to help pay for the tuition and so forth, like tuition assistance. And it's going to be open to everybody, but I really just want to start with home, which is Del State. Take care of home first, make sure everybody's all great and everybody's good. But it's really going to take a lot of work to get there. But that's the main goal in regards to what I want to do. I want to give back, but give back for a good cause, so people could be, mentally prepared for the school year and not wondering, well, where I'm going to get the next dollar from, and so forth. They have another option to apply for a scholarship. So
that's good stuff. I think that when we talk about being in school, especially when it comes to college, and having different things that you experience that a lot of people don't necessarily identify as stressors, but they actually are stressors. Of course, I think one of the main stressors in life is financial stressors. You know what I mean? And a lot of times people can undermine the long-term and the short-term effect of not being able to have your finances in order. So when you talk about the scholarships, when you talk about having the financial means to be able to take care of school and to take care of college, and whether you do or don't, how that might affect your life, and if you can or cannot go to school. Imagine the mindset of a person in that moment. Crazy. Like I'm in the financial aid line and I'm just now finding out I can't go to school. You know what I'm saying? What space does that put me in, knowing that I have to go back home for a semester? My family drove all the way down here from Connecticut, or they drove all the way up here from South Carolina, and I get in the line now. I find out that I can't come here because I don't have the financial means. You know, what type of effect could that have on a person? You know what I mean? So I think these are the things that we definitely don't necessarily always look into, because a lot of times when people think about mental health, or they think about, oh, they don't know how to grieve because they lost somebody, or they think about, oh, they have a family history of schizophrenia. Like they think about these, I don't want to say big things, but they think about these big things that they don't necessarily consider the everyday experiences that we have. So I think that was definitely good that you touched on. So Woods, what I would ask you is, if you've ever had any experiences with mental health, what would they have been?
I actually did deal with mental health as well. Piggyback off of what Sean actually said, like earlier in my years of college when I transferred from FAMU, but I didn't really go there because I didn't finish. So when I transferred to Del State, it was kind of like rough because I didn't really like know anybody there, and I just felt like I didn't fit in because, you know, I'm far from home, and it's like, oh man, like what am I? And I was commuting because I stayed off campus. I didn't have enough funds to actually stay on campus, so I was basically like to myself and just not, you know, talking to anybody because one, I didn't eat at school because I didn't have a meal plan. You know, it was a lot of stuff going on. So the way I dealt with it, go to class, go home, and that's it. Like, I just felt like, you know, I didn't have to get involved with school. I just wanted to finish, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, the semester after, what I did was I went straight to financial aid. Spoke to them, asked them, like, what my options would be in terms of, you know, paying tuition and how would I go about that. They gave me a few options, like the subsidized loan, and they explained to me everything, and I just, you know, took it upon myself to make sure I get more involved in school so I could be around people that, you know, that actually have good vibes. Because I felt like I was in a dark space at the time, and it wasn't, like, really going well for me. I wanted to drop out because, like, I didn't really have enough, like, support system. My family was in Florida, and I wasn't going to Florida every week, you know, so it's like I had to just, you know, get it the way I had to get it.
Wow. That's real. I think that's definitely real, for sure. Okay. So I have one more question before we, you know, we get into to pretty much how Good Vibez Only came about. A huge part of what I focus on when I'm you know, I changed my lingo with it too. Like I stopped saying I'm working with people and started saying I'm walking with people, because mental health is a journey, man. It is a journey. So every client that I have, I'm not working with them, I'm walking with them. Because I'm like kind of like, you know, as a clinician in mental health, you have to be sort of like a light, you know what I mean? That when all that the person sees is darkness, you got to be that instant delight, you know what I mean? That they can have a little bit of hope in to be able to continue to work towards walking in that journey. And so, you know, one of the main things that I focus on, and one of the main, you know, aspects of mental health that I start with is I always start with the sources. I think it's extremely important to always identify what the sources is that come from, you know, what I'm experiencing. So if I'm experiencing depression, what are the sources? Where did this come from? Because you're not just born and then boom, I'm depressed. You know what I mean? You're not just born and then boom, I'm just angry. You're not born and then boom, I have anxiety. So things happen and occur throughout the course of our lives that we can identify as sources that develop this particular experience in my life. And so what are the sources? And I think that when you can identify the sources of what you're experiencing, then you have a better chance at being able to grow from that particular area better than just trying to wing it. You know what I mean? So if you could identify some sources based off of what you've experienced in your life concerning different experiences that you have with mental health, what would some of those sources be?
Honestly, it was just you know the term where people say you're fighting your own demons?
Sure, yeah.
Like, I feel like that statement right there is basically like the epitome of what everything you just said. Like
Yeah.
you fighting your own demons. You have to figure out exactly what you're dealing with. Now, me personally, like when I was from middle school going up to college or whatnot. Like most of my family are from Jamaica. Like I'm the only one from my family that was born in America.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm Americanized. So all my brothers are teenagers and everything like that. They're from the Jamaican culture. So me, when I'm going to school and everything like that, like I'm growing up around American kids. So everybody is, oh, they want to wear this, they want to wear that, and I'm just like, yo, I want to wear that too. But my parents never had it like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that they just didn't have it like that. She also didn't have it to give me to go to school. So even I'm at school watching kids, you know, they got the nicest clothes on, and then you got the other kids, oh, who got the money to buy food? I don't got neither or.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you young and you growing up and dealing with stuff like that, and it's like you don't really speak about it as much or whatnot, and then like sometimes you get joked on about it. Oh, you hungry? Oh, you asking to borrow money?
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's real, but at the same time, it really takes a toll on you, like for over years and years and years to come. Like it was times like I played basketball in high school. It was times where I was going to school with like $3 in my pocket. I only could buy like a breakfast, like not even breakfast. I made sure I got to school early so I could eat the school breakfast.
Yeah.
I had the $3 on me, use that like during lunch or something to eat, or if I could thug it out, I could use that money to buy like small French fries like after school before I go to practice. But those are like the sacrifices I had to do, or like how I had to properly plan my day.
For sure.
But in my mind, I'm just like, I shouldn't really be having to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the time, like even my mom would say, my mom caught me a few times in the act of doing everything. But what she had explained to me was that, you know, like if you really like, she just kept telling me like, yo, you're gonna be fine. Is God, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I really when I really started believing everything that she told me, that everything will be good. It's God. You don't really gotta worry about nothing. Everybody who became of something had to deal with something.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta figure out what exactly you're gonna do.
For sure.
And you know, with this brand, that's how I feel. Like that's how I feel with everything, you know. And then me just watching myself from how I was then to where I am now.
Yeah.
That's why I tried to like create the mental health day with when I was in student government.
Yeah.
But during the time they removed student government from having events. So we weren't able to create that event. But I believe it would have been very, very, very impactful for that campus. But I was like, you know what? Maybe it was for a bigger scale. I created it into a clothing brand. Yeah. You know, matching the colorways up with different disorders and whatnot.
For sure.
They may not be all classified under the mental health list, but these are still the issues that everybody are dealing with in every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm wearing my autism sweatsuit and whatnot. You know, this is for people who wear autism. Like you could wear it and look nice.
Yeah, right, for sure.
You know, so these are the things, man. And the name Good Vibez Only just came from good vibes. Like anybody who knows me knows that if I go out, you know, I'm always having fun. I'm always smiling or whatnot. You know, like before my smile used to be fake, but now my smile is straight, genuine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so now it's just like really just us hitting the world, just letting them know about Good Vibez. You know, it don't even gotta just be about oh, I'm gonna just deal with this thing by myself. Like, nah, we letting y'all know that everybody dealing with it. Like everybody dealing with it. This just came from a negative experience, and we turning everything positive. So that's how we gonna do it.
Yeah. So another thing I feel like with you being student government, I think if they would have let you, you know, go with the program, it would have been crazy because it would have touched every single category of students that was there. Like even the commuters, even the doctor students, like everybody would have actually, like, I feel like at least one person from every category would have pulled up, like for me, because it's like, you know, they gotta know what it's about. They gotta. It's just an informational session, you know. That would have transpired to like something real big. For sure. So I feel like if you know, it would have been crazy. So.
For sure. And another thing too, like what I came to realize, like a lot of people on our campus, or it's not even just in the world. A lot of people, like even at Doe State or whatnot, we all deal with mental health issues. Like, and I'm speaking like maybe like paranoia and maybe like PTSD or whatnot. And the reason why I say that is because majority of the people who went to those state came from like a rough neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it may be the smallest and slightest thing. They already like what's going on?
Like, what happened?
You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? Like for instance, like I'm from New York. I'm just really just make it real small. I'm from New York. So if I'm walking, like when I first got to Dose and my freshman year, somebody looked at me, I'm like
who you looking at? Like
who you looking at?
Yeah.
But you don't even know, and that's PTSD. Like not even saying like it's supposed to, like you really stressed out, and that's a disorder in a sense.
Yeah.
But that's like a sign like you're dealing with something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You deal with PTSD. This is like where you grew up. This is where you grew up at. This is like it's like the smallest things that people wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
The smallest things that people would notice are like a you could say could be an example of what this disorder is or whatnot, you know. So this is just a lot, like, and just knowing that people on campus are dealing with it, I want people to be aware of it.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know I was dealing with suicide until
For sure.
it was brought to my face. I just thought that I was having thoughts of just doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that until I actually opened my mouth and I was like, yo, all right, cool, damn, I am dealing with something. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't say nothing. That's just like with anybody with anything in this world, like any opportunities, anything like you're doing in life, you're not gonna get any help unless you open your mouth.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. So
Right.
until I was able to open my mouth, I wasn't able to deal with my issues. So that's why I'm trying to provide this platform for everybody, you know, to just, if you're dealing with something, say it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
and if you can't say it, you need somebody else, let somebody else say it for you.
Yeah.
Or make an anonymous call. You know, do anything that could actually save not even your life, but your family's life.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, so just
Absolutely.
yeah.
I was gonna like two things I want to elaborate on that Sean was talking about is the normalization of mental health and how many people are experiencing these different things. And I think what happens a lot of times is that everybody runs away from this term crazy. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be seen as crazy, but I always tell people like, what is crazy?
Yeah.
What is that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because everybody, if we want to say I don't, everybody experiences their own level of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're put in the right environment at the right time and the right situation happen, you're gonna do something crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna do something crazy, and it's just everybody. And I think it's like the whole fight and flight thing. You know what I mean? Like in the right situation, the right scenario, the right environment, given that you are put in a particular circumstance, everybody has the possibility of doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of times when people say, "Oh, this person, I never expected that from them," I don't have expectations in that way because everybody is capable of anything. So nothing that anybody does can surprise me to a point. You know what I mean? But to speak on the point of like the normalization of mental health, I think a lot of times people shy away from, I don't want to be labeled. I don't want this to be attached to me. But a lot of times what we have to do is we have to come in line with the reality of what it is that we're experiencing. That's number one. Secondly, not everything that you experience has to be diagnosed. I think a lot of people don't even understand that. I did a mental health Mondays on that before, the difference between symptomology and diagnosis. You can experience symptoms of something and not necessarily qualify to be diagnosed.
True.
And you can still be treated by a counselor for the symptoms. You don't have to be diagnosed with this particular thing. So if your fear is I don't want to be labeled, still go see a clinician regardless, so that way you can get the help that you need for the symptoms that you're experiencing. You don't have to be diagnosed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't have to. A lot of people are afraid of medication. You don't have to take medication. In fact, a lot of the medications that are given to mental health, clients or patients or whatever you want to call it, a lot of the medications are meant to regulate things that your body already does. And I think a lot of times we undermine the power of the human body. Like your body literally can reproduce all of the chemicals that you need to be able to get your mental health in order without medication. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the case for everybody. Some people will need it to assist them along the journey. But for the most part, we have what we needed within ourselves.